Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Safina National Executive Committee met today in Nairobi, and after 5 hours of deliberations, we have come up with the key points that we want to share with the people of Kenya as the party position. Number one is on the Constitution and particularly on the system of government. Safina acknowledges that there's only one center of power, and that's the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. The debate on centers of power is therefore misguided, and what Kenya should be talking about is the appropriate checks and balances to the office that power is delegated to. Safina therefore believes that Kenya should be governed through a presidential system of government, with a president elected by the people, a cabinet formed from outside parliament, and an independent judiciary to ensure separation of powers and effective checks and balances. The separation of powers between the functions of the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature is necessary in order to guarantee the rule of law and the fundamental freedoms of the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Apart from the system of government, we also agreed on our position on the representation of the people. And as a party, we propose that there be a fair and equitable system of representation where constituencies shall be categorized into three, namely the urban constituencies category, rural densely populated constituencies category, and the rural semi-arid or sparsely populated constituencies. Geography may also be considered in the the demarcation of those constituencies under the three categories. On devolution, the party NEC discussed, and as a party we are proposing that there shall be two levels of government, namely the national and county governments level. And like the constituencies, which we have talked about herein, the counties under the county governments should and will need to be rationalized on the basis of the three categories as urban counties, rural but densely populated counties, and rural, less densely or sparsely populated counties. Number 4, we looked at the chapter on human rights, and we particularly noted that there's need to amend the Article 72 in the harmonized draft constitution to reduce the detention period, which has been provided as 48 hours, to 24 hours as it is currently provided for under the law. Number 5, we discussed the whole matter of impunity in Kenya, and as a party, we endorsed a three-pronged approach to tackling impunity and particularly getting justice for the post-election violence victims. And we have adopted the three-pronged strategy, which includes that we support the ICC process of prosecuting cases of the suspects who bear the highest responsibility for violations and crimes against humanity in regard to the post-election violence. Number 2, we support the establishment of the Special Tribunal for Kenya. And thirdly, we support the establishment and operation of a genuine and competent TJRC, which meets internationally agreed standards to facilitate justice for the victims. And we also were concerned that President Kibaki and Prime Minister Raila Odinga have abdicated their duty to ensuring that the Manyara bill that is intended to establish the special tribunal is passed in Parliament. And the party called on the people of Kenya to speak in one voice in demanding that these two leaders act to safeguard the interests of the people, particularly justice for the victims of the post-election violence. The party also, number 6, called for the speedy registration of all Kenyans as voters, because that is a fundamental right which was taken away when the voters register was scrapped by Parliament through a resolution. And we are saying that this is a very dangerous situation that the country finds itself in, and all should be done. And as a party, we shall be mobilizing our membership and working with all democratic forces in the country to ensure that Kenyans are given back their vote as quickly as possible, because it's a fundamental right. And lastly, we agreed as a party that from January 2010, we shall be rolling out an ambitious program of establishing and opening party branches across the country and preparing to field civic and parliamentary candidates across the country in all the 2,800 civic wards and in all the constituencies that will be established by the new constitution. We particularly encouraged young people, women and persons with disabilities and from marginalized communities to participate, because the party shall be more than willing to support and sponsor these candidates on the party ticket in the forthcoming general election. On that same note, we resolved as a party that we will be spending the first half of next year to go through the country to collect views on making the Safina Manifesto, which we want to be the most elaborate and the most responsive party manifesto in the Republic of Kenya. And finally, the party wished all Kenyans a happy Human Rights Day and call on Kenyans to dedicate December 12th, 2009, Jamhuri Day, to civic education on the harmonized draft constitution and the end to impunity. Thank you so much.